It's time to have your mind blown. But before we can do that, I must blow the horn of epiphanies to summon the universe's wisdom. Behold its grace and beauty. Let us begin. Have you ever pondered the meaning of gravitas? Did you come here to get more smarter? Well, I can help you with neither of those things. Time for some mind-blown epiphanies. I hope you're ready. If you're able to do a handstand, you're actually holding the entire earth in your whole hands. It's pretty cool. Mind blown. If you rip a fishing net, it will now have fewer holes than before you ripped it. That one's kind of a thinker. It's got all the holes. When you rip it, it makes fewer holes. So, if a pregnant woman goes swimming, she actually becomes a human submarine. No one knows whether the S or the C is silent in the word scent. If you expect the unexpected, then that means the unexpected has now become expected. It makes sense if you don't think about it. I'm not actually thinking, I just have a crook in my neck. I can't move it. If gym equipment were invisible, it would look like everyone was having a silent rave. Most people that go to the gym kind of look like people from Jersey Shore anyways, but that's besides the point. Wait, do you hear that? I hear a ringing noise. My doctor told me last week that I was concussed, which means that I can hear through walls or something. I read between the lines when he was talking. Once you've read the dictionary, every other book just becomes a remix. Dora the Explorer calls herself an explorer, but she seems to only travel through areas that have already been mapped. Kind of a liar. What's Spanish for the word liar? That's what she is. A palindrome is a word that is spelt one way and can be spelt the same way backwards, such as the word race car spells race car backwards, or taco cat. But did you know there's palindrome sentences, such as, Eva, can I stab bats in a cave? In which case, if your name is Eva, you tell your friend, no, you serial killer, you're going to jail. Or my favorite palindrome sentence is this, go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog. This has been mind-blowing epiphanies. De nada. And now, as always, you are now more smarter.
I have reason to believe that we are all in danger. Danger from an enemy that is hard to see, and one that we have not been keeping our eyes on. The current life we are living has been all set up. It started with world leaders, down to the local leaders. They have all made deals to trap us in our homes. They want you to be inside. But why, you may ask? Because of who or what they made deals with. I need to make sure I say this, but I can't unless you have the volume as low as possible. Hide your scream. I don't want them to hear me. Otherwise, you might be in danger. The whole thing has been set up by squirrels. That's right. They have infiltrated the government and made it so that we have to stay inside. But why, you might ask? It's quite simple. Less humans outside means less humans to interfere with their desire to collect and eat all the food they can get their hands on. We are getting reports in the bunker of incidents such as this one nearly every day. But they are not happy with simply driving us indoors so they have full reign of the outdoors. No, they want more. It also means we are right where they want us, inside. Why? Because the longer we stay inside, the bigger chance of them turning us into what they ultimately want. They want to drive us into becoming insane. Nuts. Because when we do, we will then become edible to them. So beware, or this could be you.
That squirrel's getting in our attic. And my wife is now standing on the counter because she's freaked out and thinks one has somehow gotten in our bathroom, which is physically impossible. Sus, it is literally impossible.
There is squirrel in there. I hear it.
No, I'm telling you.
Hey, don't open that door.
I got a stick.
No, you call the exterminator right now.
Watch,
Call
Sus.
Randy,
Watch.
Randy, stop.
Watch.
What?
What did I just tell you?
I know it's it.
There literally is nothing in here. Literally nothing. 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 I'm looking everywhere.
I know it's it.
Well, that was not in any way endorsed by New Life Assembly of God, the Tab Youth Group, Pastor Alex, or even God himself. I apologize for that. Our feed got taken over momentarily, but we are here and we are ready for Tab Youth Group Live. I am so excited to see you guys over there. I see Anna is over on Instagram, and we've got Zane, Wiggly Potato. We've got Karen Austin and Lacey Gorod and Clara Tuning and Mitch and Melanie. And I saw Kayla over there, and hopefully there's a whole bunch of other people that are watching here tonight. I know that some people are unable to comment, people like Cadence. So we're excited that you are there, and hopefully you're doing really great tonight. I'm having a great week. The last couple days have been just really good for me. I'm feeling a lot healthier, and hopefully you're healthy and happy and doing a great thing with your life. So how is everybody? Hopefully you're doing okay. Go ahead and make sure you're chatting with each other in chat and telling each other how you're doing. Let's start off with our question of the night. Our question of the night tonight, brought to you by Ford and Dodge. Not really. Not brought to you by anybody but me. Our question of the night tonight is very simple. I want you to hashtag the funniest and the April Foolsiest person that you know. So just hashtag and then their name. And if you're not able to type, so Cadence, if you're not able to type, go ahead and just tell the people near you who the funniest / April Foolsiest person you know in your life are. As you do so, I wanted to tell you about a new chat setup that we have over on YouTube, and it's a thing called Nightbot. You'll kind of see him popping up every once in a while. I still have some tweaks to make for him. Hi Zadie, I see you're a little late. That's okay. I'm glad that you're here, or that you will be here hopefully later. But anyway, we have these things called commands now, chat commands, and they're really easy. All you have to do is you're going to type exclamation and then a word following exclamation without any space between it. And I put over 35 of these in our Nightbot command thing. And so you can try these out. And what I'm going to say is that I will give a quarantine point for every single one that you discover. So if you type in something like exclamation salt, it will pop up with a brand new command, or at least it should, unless Nightbot has suddenly decided he doesn't want to work for us. And that's what a command is. So if you can discover any tonight, then you will get quarantine points for that, and I will try to keep on that so that I can add up your points. I saw a lot of Alex's and an Emma for those that you think are some of the most April Foolsiest people you know. The second question that we always ask is, how can we pray for you? This is a question you're going to hear a lot. That you're going to hear a lot from me. Every time I give you a phone call, you're going to hear this from me. The question of, how can I pray for you? What's going on in your life that I can pray for? And if you write that down in the chat tonight, I'll be able to pray for you, and I'll make sure I write those down and continue to pray for those needs as we go along. I see people have caught on to the salt thing, so now you should be able to kind of go on from there and see if you can find any other ones. I see the first person to find one is Mitch, and he did exclamation Alex. And good job, Mitch, with finding that one. So I will make sure you get that point. I did give Lacey and Jake both got quarantine points for sending in memes this week. If you want some to be part of a meme fight coming up, then make sure you give some of those memes my way. You can either put them on Discord, or you can just text me, or you can email them to me. Any of those ways can work, or on our Facebook page, things like that. And so yeah, that's what's coming up. And hopefully you can, if you have any prayer requests, you can let us know. Emma, are you ready to go? All right, here we go. Wow, Emma, you have improved so much on the flute. That was amazing. I cannot believe that. That was impressive. So good job with that. Something about being in quarantine, all you can do is play, and look what happens. Brendan's now joined us. Good to see you, Brendan. Hey, we're going to play our next game together, and this is more of a get-to-know-you type game, and it's basically a way for me to get to know you and you to get to know me. And tonight's game is called The Top 3. The top 3 tonight that we're going to be talking about, basically, it's a top 3 list that I put together, and you go ahead and share your top 3. If you disagree with mine, argue with me. If you agree with me, go for it and tell me, and I will make sure that I enjoy those. But if you get, I'll give you a quarantine point if you post your top 3 on this week in Discord, over in the general chit chat section, just your top 3. And this week, being that we have Easter coming up in just 11 days, can you believe that? 11 days. We are going to do our top 3 best Easter candies. And so I'll tell you my best 3, and then you go ahead And you can argue with me, you can agree with me, or you can just share your own top 3 Easter candies. So the first one, cherry, orange, strawberry, lemon, green apple, and grape. These little drops of joy carry a big wallop of flavor. So at my number 3, I give to you Starburst jelly beans. I love them. They're number 3 on my list of the top 3 best Easter candies. At number 2, the candy itself was invented in 1928, but it wasn't until more recently they started making this holiday-themed version. They actually come in 3 different flavors, but the original is still the best. At number 2, I have Reese's Peanut Butter Eggs, and I love them too. They're fantastic. This one may be a little more controversial. Some of you may disagree with this, but I have always loved these. When they appeared in stores, I always knew that meant that spring was here. Next year, it will be celebrating its 50th year in production. 50 years of these wonderful, wonderful things. At number 1, covered in foil, filled with yellow and white creamy goodness, the Cadbury Cream Egg, the best Easter candy in the world. So if you agree with me, go ahead and let me know. If you disagree with me, you can let me know that as well. Go ahead and put in your top 3 Easter candies. And if you do so on Discord this week, you will earn a quarantine point. So Zadie says she hates jelly beans. Lacey says she loves Starburst jelly beans. They're better than the regulars. I see a lot of oh heck no's and grosses. So apparently some people don't like those things. I don't know why. Melanie said that Reese's is better. But I better not. Brendan said I better not say Peeps. I did not. Peeps are disgusting, and there is no reason why anybody should ever eat Peeps at all, unless they were starving to death, and even then, probably not. All right. In Exodus, we learn that the people of Israel have been made into slaves. God does huge miracles in order to free them from their Egyptian slave masters. They're released, and God leads them out in triumph and then asks them to follow him, and they do. And he wanders around leading them here and there until they really aren't making much headway at all. They're just kind of drifting around wherever God's leading them. And the Egyptians see this and decide they will go and kill or recapture their slaves. And as they approach, the Israelites see them coming and realize that God has led them into a trap. They're now trapped between their old slave drivers, the Egyptians, and the sea. And they panic. And they think they're going to die. And they go to their leader, Moses, and they ask him what to do. And Moses replies very simply in Exodus 14:14 by saying, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still." How hard is it for us to be still? I think it's really difficult. We're constantly in motion. We're constantly wanting to talk, to do, to accomplish. But victory at times eludes us because we're trying to do something on our own instead of just being still. I was extremely good as a kid at hide and go seek. Do we have anybody else out there that was good at hide and go seek? Go ahead and tell me if you were. The reason that I was good at hide and go seek had nothing to do with anything special about me as far as a superior ability to find a good hiding space or anything like that. Though I was okay at finding hiding spaces. The reason I was good at hide and go seek is because I would go and I would hide and I didn't get bored and start moving around. Others who would be playing were a little more active, and they would go and hide, and pretty soon they'd start getting antsy, and they'd start moving around, and they'd start making noise, and the person would notice them. Or they would finally get fed up and try to run to try to get back to base, or to escape the seeker and find a better hiding spot. But they would inevitably get tagged instead of not getting tagged, like me, because I would stay in one place and stay still, and because I trusted in my hiding place. Now I see Zane is saying that he's good at hide and go seek. Lacey says that Luke was good at it as well, and she says she's terrible at it. Amy is great at hide and go seek. I agree with that. She's like me. She can just stand still and not move for long periods of time in order to avoid detection. But again, I would last longer because I just stayed still and I trusted in my hiding place. After Moses' statement, God does end up delivering Israel by parting the Red Sea and leading the people through safely as they waited for God to do the fighting for them. 3 important things to see here. Number 1, God led them, and they followed him to this spot. Someone else made the choice to do wrong and try to hurt them. But God led them to this spot where they were trapped. Number 2, God wanted them to be still because then he could move. And number 3, being still and allowing God to fight for them allowed them to find victory. Some of you have been following God, and through no choice of your own, he's led you to a point where maybe you feel a little bit trapped between a rock and a hard place. You're having a difficult time, maybe with your friends or with your family. You're trapped and you're hurting, and you need someone or something to help you in your impossible situation. Being trapped at home doesn't mean you'll stop having those struggles. Just because you're not at school every day or not around your friends as much doesn't mean those problems disappear. Those addictions are still there. That pain is still there. That anger is still there. And some of you have been trapped in other ways, and it seems impossible to get out. God may be asking you tonight to be still and allow him to move. Maybe you've been trying to fix, to talk your way out, to reason your way out. Maybe it's time for you to rely on him moving instead of you moving. So be still. Let your heart remain still. Let your brain be still. Let your mouth be still. Let your body be at rest. Let the Lord fight for you. When we allow God to fight for us, we're going to end up less tired, less hurt, less frustrated, and less lost. And let's be honest, God is way better at accomplishing a miracle and changing things than we ever will be. So I'm asking you to take a chance and to be still and allow God to do a miracle for you starting tonight. It's time for you to start to trust God as your hiding spot. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much that you are speaking to us tonight, this idea that we don't have to fight these battles that seem impossible. but instead that as we remain still, you can fight them for us. So I pray that you would help us to overcome that desire to do and try to solve it on our own, and instead put our reliance on you. Amen. All right, so next I would like to tell you that the floor in the chair that you are on is lava. Watch out! 3, 2, 1. If you are touching your floor, or if you are touching the chair that you were sitting in, you have been destroyed by the lava. All right, let's play another game. We're going back to one we played last week, and that's Drawings with Amy. Amy's going to show us a picture of a youth member that she drew, and you're going to try to guess who it is. First one in chat to guess who it is gets a quarantine point. So Amy, come on over and show these wonderful people your drawing tonight. Can you guys see that? This is Amy's drawing. So you can kind of see it's got a person with long hair. Maybe a couple of other things going on for this person. I'm not going to say if it's a female or a male. Amy, how you doing, kid?
Good.
I'm glad that you were able to join us tonight. Let's see if we can figure out who it is. I'm not going to move on until we get our first guess at least coming in, and then I'll let you reveal who that person is. One of our youth members, and this is a wonderful drawing from Amy. She did a great job. Let's see. Should be coming in any time now. Somebody guessed Lacey. That's not Lacey. It is a student. It is not Clara. It is not Lacey. Should we give them a hint, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay, what letter does it start with? It's not Kayla. It's not Alex. It isn't Clara. What letter does it start with?
P.
P. It starts with P. Let's see. It's not Zadie. So it starts with the letter P. All right, Amy, go ahead and reveal to them who it is.
Patricia.
It's Patricia. Look, she's got a cast on her foot and she's got crutches. That seems pretty fitting to me. Oh, I see Melanie with Patricia as our first guess in. That was correct. Good job, Melanie, with getting that point. And thank you, Amy, so much. You did a great job tonight with that drawing. So keep your eyes peeled for next time when we do another Drawings with Amy. So we're going to talk about what is the plan. We do this every week. It's just our way of kind of keeping you updated on what our plan is. We're still not doing any meetings in person. We're not allowed to do those. And we're trying to follow the law and those in control of our government. So we're going to be obedient to that. So we don't have any Tuesday Bible study. We don't have any Wednesday nights, Sunday school, things like that. Instead, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. We'll have 7 p.m. here. We'll have our live service. We're going to do, we'll be doing a lot of stuff over on Discord as people join in over there. And you can always post your stuff over there, whether it's memes or conversations and things like that. Thanks to Zadie and Kayla, who became our first 2 youth Discord members. And it's a good hangout spot to chat, post things. There's a couple of other wonderful things that we can do over there. So we hope that you'll join us for that. The other thing I want to invite you to is at 10:30 in the morning on Sundays, we have our church's main service. It's a premiere, which means it's not live like what this is, where I can see what you're doing and respond to it. Instead, it's a video and it's got worship and things like that. But this week we're taking communion together. So we'd love for you to join us for that. All you have to do is be prepared for that. Show up at 10:30. Have something to use as your communion juice and your wafer, and we'll lead you through that as a family. And so we'd love for you and your family to join us 10:30 in the morning on Sunday for that. All right, let's play one more game tonight before we have our final words, and that game is. All right, we'll try that again and see if it starts working now. Sorry. Again, our internet sometimes just, for whatever reason, completely drops out, and so you have to restart and things like that. I see that you're having fun with the commands. Zane, I can't stand you for figuring out that you can use !command to find all the commands, but whatever. I'll forgive you sometime in the future. All right, so I want to finish with our final words tonight. Remember, we talked about last week that we want you to be people of faith, not fear, prayer, not panic, and connection, not isolation. And so I'm going to give you a challenge for each of these three things, and we'll see how you guys do at the challenge. Go ahead and post how you do this week over on the Discord, and that way we know that you're doing well. So here's our final challenges. First, for faith, I want you to spend 5 minutes each day just being silent with God this week in order to trust Him to fight for you. So start by asking Him to speak peace to you during this time, and then just be silent. Maybe He has something to share with you. Maybe He doesn't, but maybe it's a good moment just to remind yourself that it's not about how much you do and how smart you are, but it's all about trusting in Him. Number 2, prayer. I want you to spend 5 minutes each day praying to God for someone else you know that needs a miracle in their life. Maybe it's somebody that's sick. Maybe it's somebody that's having a hard time at home, whatever it might be. I want you to spend 5 minutes praying for that person. So now we're up to 10 minutes a day of spending time with God. And then the third one is connection. 5 minutes each day connecting with someone different from our youth group that doesn't live with you. So you can't choose somebody that lives with you. Call them, text them, message them, something that's encouraging so that they know they're not alone. So I'm giving you 15 minutes of work each day for the next 7 days. And hopefully you'll take that on. For each of you that does accomplish that, be ready to tell me next week in order to earn quarantine points for that. And I want to thank all of you that were able to make it tonight. Again, thank you for your patience with the stream. I know that it's not the best thing in the world sometimes around here for that, and we're just blessed that it kind of works. So we'll see you next week, 7 p.m. next week. If we don't see you before then, we'll see you maybe on Sunday at 10:30, but at least hopefully at sometime on Wednesday at 7 p.m., and then hopefully also we'll be able to see you through phone calls and things like that. Not see you, because that doesn't make any sense, but see you. You know what I mean.
it's time for me to say sayonara. That's Japanese for goodbye. So ciao. That's Italian.
До свидания.
That's Russian.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.